I'm Peter Johnson. I'm the Director of Global Learning for those of you that haven't had an opportunity to meet me yet. Hopefully I will soon. Julia Bluestone has asked me to provide an update on an activity that we are planning in conjunction with the Clinical Training Skills course revision. Appreciate all the input that you've given me as part of the CTS working group thus far, and now I'm asking the clinical training skills subject matter experts, or our experienced trainers, to give me some additional input that's really important to assessment of competency. As you know, we're placing an increased emphasis on competency assessment in the new clinical training skills course. We're doing that because our assessment of competency, our ability to assess the competency of our participants, of our learners, really is what provides a meaningful measure of their qualification. In the past, we've had arbitrary skills measures, and we've had arbitrary pass scores for the checklist. In fact, we've expected 100% on the checklists, which hasn't always been easy, and we've had the 85% measure on the knowledge, the mid-course questionnaire. Now, the way to improve this process is to validate each of these measures, knowledge measures and skills measures. I'm going to be asking you to start with the skills measures. And we have a variety of checklists for our clinical training skills course, like we do our skills courses. And each checklist has a variety of steps or tasks. And for each of these tasks on the checklist, we're going to be asking you to analyze them and to answer 4 specific questions. Okay. The first question is, are the tasks that are listed here essential? So, for example, this is the checklist for classroom presentation skills. The first step or task is presents an effective introduction. If you think that that is an essential task as part of classroom presentation, then you say yes. If no, you answer no. The second thing we're going to be asking you to do is a little bit more complex, but not much. We want you to look at each of these steps, and we want you to say, imagine to yourself, that just barely competent service provider, the person that's just left your training skills course and you're sending them out as a brand new trainer. And I want you to ask yourself, what % of those people would be able to complete that step effectively? So the first would be, again, going back to the presenting an effective introduction. If you feel like 100% of people would be able to do that, then you put 100%. If it seems more like it's something that, that you're just barely competent person may or may not get right, you might put 70%. If it's something that is really difficult and you think only develops over time, you may imagine that just competent person leaving the training and say only 30%. But that's your decision to make. What we'll be doing is we'll be taking all of your assessment of the percentage of just competent service providers who would complete that task effectively, and we'll be averaging them. And then we'll be averaging all of those averages across all the tasks and coming up with a passing score that's appropriate, this criterion reference based on your expert judgment to be applied to the skills checklist. The third thing we're going to be asking you to do is to look at each of these steps and suggest any rewording. They may be ambiguous. They may not be clearly stated. They may not be complete enough. If any of those things seem to be true in your mind, we'll be asking you to provide suggested updated language. And then finally, we're going to be asking you if we missed any steps on the skills checklist. We have 16 steps here. Maybe 16 is not enough. Maybe there's 2 more that you're going to want to add to that. So this is your opportunity. This is the checklist that we've used historically. This is what we're going in with. When we're finished with analyzing your contribution, then we will have a new checklist that we'll be able to move forward with in the future, and hopefully one that's going to be very comfortable for both the trainers and the participants in our workshops. Now, we're starting here, but very soon you'll be getting a similar survey that's going to ask you to make similar assessments for our questionnaires or for our post-assessments, knowledge assessments. Next step coming soon. I'll be back to you with more information on that when we get to that point. And if you have any questions, you can touch base with the Global Learning Office through Julia or myself, and we'd be happy to clarify. Thanks.